Hello, good evening. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. And I also have a great topic for you. Now, we often hear about spouses of U.S. citizens that they can get their green cards, all the benefits of being the spouse of a green card holder. But what about the spouses of permanent residents? So, this is the most common question I hear in regards to that. And it's, do I have to wait for my spouse to become a US citizen before I can get my green card? The short answer is no. However, if you there may it may be better to wait until they're a US citizen, but in other cases, it's not. And right now is a good time to evaluate whether you should go ahead and apply now as a spouse of a permanent resident or wait until they become US citizens. And that's because the timeline for the to apply as a spouse of a permanent resident and the timeline to apply as the spouse of a citizen are very similar, if not the same right now. The processing times are similar because neither spouse has to wait for an immigrant visa number to become available. That doesn't usually happen. Usually, in the past, there were so many applications for spouses of permanent residents that they would have to wait for some time, wait until their turn on the wait list. But right now, there is no wait list. So if you apply as the spouse of a permanent resident, it's going to be on the same processing time, meaning as soon as your petition is approved, you're going to then move on to the National Visa Center if you're outside of the United States. And if you're here in the United States, you may qualify for adjustment of status. That's an exciting new development because if you're here on current status, you can't overstay in order to qualify for adjustment of status. In this case, you can't overstay. But if you happen to be here on current status, so say you're here on a B2, say you're here on an F1 visa or status, then you may be able to submit your adjustment of status application along with the petition. But it's going to depend on what your situation is. And if in the case you've already overstayed, it's at that point that we want to look at whether it's beneficial, more beneficial for you to still go ahead and apply and then apply for forgiveness for the overstay, or whether you should just wait until your spouse gets US citizenship. But the point here is if you're the spouse of a permanent resident, go ahead and evaluate your options and submit that application as soon as you know you qualify. That's what I'm helping my clients to do right now. So you can go ahead, do that. Let's talk about your situation. Let's talk about whether you can do adjustment of status, that's to stay here and apply, or whether you'll need to go through extra additional steps, or whether you should just wait for your spouse to become a citizen. Now, where I find it is beneficial for your spouse to wait until your spouse becomes a U.S. citizen is where you are out of status and they are eligible right now for U.S. citizenship. In that case, U.S. citizenship is taking anywhere from 6 months to a year. So your spouse is able to do that process, and then you can be upgraded to the spouse of a U.S. citizen and then file your adjustment of status application. However, you may be married to a permanent resident and it's going to be years until they qualify. Or there may be issues in their case where they won't qualify. So I've had situations where the spouse maybe can't read or write, and because of that, they're unable to pass a test and they're unable to get an exemption in their case. And if that's the case, then you could you could go ahead and apply for permanent residence and not wait until your spouse becomes a U.S. citizen. So as you can see, Whether the options you choose is going to come down to what the particular circumstances are in your situation. So that's what I have about that. Now, I want to also let you know that I'm here. I'm both on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. I'm here to answer your U.S. immigration related questions. So go ahead and put your questions in the comments. Now that I've talked about the topic that I came to talk about, I'm here to assist you to achieve your goals, whether you're in status or out of status. And in situations like this, where you may be the spouse of a permanent resident, I want you to know you have options too. So put your questions in the comments. Now I'm heading on over to Instagram in a quick minute. I'm the immigration attorney on Instagram. You can go to Instagram, search the immigration attorney, or you can go to the link. It's going to take you to a website where you will see an option to go to the Instagram. There's also the Instagram button on the profile page. So you can do that. If you would like to schedule an appointment, because now you know that you're ready to get started, you want to figure out your options, the best place to do that is by calling and scheduling a consultation. Because remember, the information I'm giving you today is not personalized legal advice. I'm not your attorney. This is general information. And so to be able to get the information you need to make decisions, to move forward with your status, and to get the help you need and representation to achieve those goals, you should go ahead and schedule that consultation. Thanks so much for the love. That's going to be it for me. I don't see any questions so far. I will be back tomorrow at the usual time, 4 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and here on TikTok. Okay, so I see one here. So I applied for VAWA. I didn't do divorce yet, and I sent all my documents. How it take? I applied. So I'm not sure, just because I'm not your attorney and I don't know what your case looks like. So you could be looking at anywhere from 2 years, 2.5 years. If you're waiting for your work permit, that's taking about 9 months to 12 months to come through. And then after that, about another year for your approval, and then another couple months for the adjustment of status. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. So I will be back tomorrow. So now tomorrow I'll be back on TikTok around this time, and you can also catch me on Instagram in a minute at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. You can always schedule your own appointment. All right, so have a great one, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Or in a minute on Instagram. Have a great one. Thanks for the love.